Good morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlight. Lagos State government calls for stricter adherence to building codes and regulations. President Tinubu departs Abuja on two-nation visit to Japan, Brazil. On the foreign scene, humanitarian groups call on Israel to end weaponization of aid in Gaza. And in sport, Nigeria's D Tigers begin AfroBasket tournament on winning note with victory over Madagascar. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has called for strict adherence to all building codes and regulations to curb collapsed building incidences across the country. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this at a one-day sensitization program on incessant building collapse in Nigeria and launch of the Lagos Certified Structural Integrity Program, CSIP, organized by the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development in collaboration with the state government. Governor Sanwo-Olu commended the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development for its foresight and commitment in organizing the program in collaboration with the Lagos State government.
All of these are stakeholder engagement, and our proactive actions is taking a proper line and is beginning to have impact. The ripple effect when it happens is always far-reaching. Fatalities, injuries, and loss of property is not what any government will fold its arms and see happen. Lagos is a city of ambition and it has rapid growth. But with growth comes the duty to ensure that the safety of life and property is paramount. That is why we must move from reactive responses to proactive strategies.
In a keynote address, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Shuaib Belgore, noted that the administration of President Bola Tinubu is committed to ensuring that safety and structural integrity become non-negotiable principles in Nigeria's building sector. In his welcome address, Permanent Secretary, Office of Urban Development, Bolahon Oki, noted that in Lagos, the Sanwo-Olu administration has taken bold steps in line with the Themes Plus agenda to strengthen building control, enhance compliance, and deploy technology in monitoring and enforcement from the Certified Structural Intelligence.
Safety is not the work of government alone. It's the partnership between policymakers, regulators, professional bodies, developers, and the community we serve. This workshop brings all of us into the same room to share knowledge, align strategies, and strengthen our resolve to prevent avoidable tragedy.
Special Advisor to the Governor on Electronic Geographic Information System, EGIS, and Urban Development, Olajide Babatunde, said the state government is committed to building a resilient city while putting pressure or measures in place to stem the tide of incidences of collapsed building with the reintroduction of regular inspection of construction sites to ensure the right materials are used.
Minister through the Permanent Secretary, you started an initiative across Nigeria. This is something that we embrace in Lagos. We've been doing this for a number of years.
Our correspondent Adiola Akedele reports that the event attracted stakeholders from the built industry, including Association of Iron Benders, professional plumbers, building material dealers, developers, among others. Commissioner for Housing, Moruf Akinderu Fatai, says the new tenancy bill currently under consideration by the Lagos State House of Assembly will ensure a full protection of both tenants and landlords, as well as reduce inhibitions to mass housing development for private investors. Akinderu Fatai, who stated this during the public hearing on Lagos State Tenancy Bill 2025, said there are issues surrounding the landlord and tenant relationship and the bill is intended to make sure that everybody knows his or her rights. While appreciating the legislators of the Lagos State House of Assembly for the holistic work of research and dedication put into crafting the bill, Akindele Fatai stated that the bill will undoubtedly create confidence for real estate investors and open up opportunities for new real estate financiers in the state. According to him, the new tenancy bill will escalate investment in the real estate sector and encourage investors to come in with confidence that when they build, their investment is well protected. The commissioner, while contributing to the proceedings at the public hearing, applauded some of the highlights of the new bill, which will protect the tenants from exploitation by estate agents, such as a provision to make registration of agents mandatory and setting a limit for commission and agency fees. The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has called for stronger public cooperation in safeguarding telecommunications infrastructure, warning that service disruptions could undermine the economy and national security. The Nigeria Telecom regulator made the call after brokering a deal to avert a strike by the Natural Oil and Gas Suppliers Association of Nigeria. The industrial action, planned over fuel supply issues last week, would have cut off diesel deliveries to thousands of telecom sites, many of which rely on generators to stay online amid Nigeria's unreliable power grid. NCC Chief Executive Officer Aminu Maida said the agency will continue to enforce technical standards and work closely with security agencies, operators, and the public to safeguard these assets. He also urged Nigerians to see the infrastructure as a shared national asset that powers everything from business transactions to healthcare and education. According to industry data, Nigeria's $75 billion telecom industry relies on more than 40 million liters of diesel monthly to keep towers running due to unreliable grid power. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has warned that the water level at Bakin Kogi Jimeta in Adamawa State has surpassed the warning threshold of 6.0 meters. According to the agency, the current discharge rates from upstream sources exceed limits, posing a heightened risk of overbank flooding. It said the NEMA Yola Operations Office is closely monitoring the situation and has activated coordination with disaster response units and other relevant stakeholders to prepare for possible evacuation and relief operations. It will be recalled that the devastating flood that swept through parts of Adamawa State on Sunday left dozens, many of them children, missing and hundreds displaced. Now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja today for a two-nation trip to Japan and Brazil. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, in a statement said the President will stop over in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, before proceeding to Japan. He said in Japan, President Tinubu will attend the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD9, in the city of Yokohama from August 20 to 22. Ononuga said TICAD9, with the theme Co-Create Innovative Solutions with Africa, will focus on Africa's economic transformation and improvements in the business environment and institutions through private investment and innovation, and will also promote a resilient and sustainable African society for human security, peace, and stability. The President will hold bilateral meetings and meet the chief executive officers of some Japanese companies with investments in Nigeria, in addition to attending plenary sessions on themes linked to the conference. At the end of the TICAD9, President Tinubu will leave for Brasilia, the capital of the Federative Republic of Brazil, on a two-day state visit from Sunday, August 24 to Monday, August 25, following an invitation by the Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. While in Brazil, President Tinubu will hold a bilateral meeting with his hosts and attend a business forum with Brazilian investors. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Osun State has commenced activities for the 2026 governorship election with the posting of the official notice of election in all 30 local government offices and the area office in Modakeke. Resident Electoral Commissioner Mutiu Agbuke stated this during an expanded stakeholders meeting at the Commission's headquarters in Osogbo. Agbuke assured the electorate of transparency, fairness, and professionalism, stressing that INEC alone cannot deliver a credible poll without stakeholder support. He warned political parties, the media, the civil society against vote buying and violence, describing them as cankerworms undermining credible elections. And now to foreign news. More than 100 organizations have signed a joint letter calling on Israel to stop the weaponization of aid into Gaza as starvation deepens. Humanitarian groups, including Oxfam and Médecins Sans Frontières, said they are increasingly being told they are not authorized to deliver aid unless they comply with the stricter Israeli regulations. The letter says groups risk being banned if they delegitimize the state of Israel or do not provide detailed information about Palestinian staff. According to the joint letter, most major international non-governmental organizations have been unable to deliver a single truck of life-saving supplies since March 2. Israel denies there are restrictions on aid and says the rules introduced in March ensure that aid reaches the population directly and not Hamas. Now, sport. Nigeria's senior men's team, D Tigers, began their quest to claim a second continental title with a comprehensive win as they defeated Madagascar 77-59 in their opening Group B fixture at the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket Championship in Angola on Wednesday. Both nations were facing each other for only the second time in FIBA AfroBasket history, with the previous clash having ended 102-81 in favor of Nigeria during the 2011 edition. The coach Mohamed Abdurrahman-led side came into the contest at the Pavlao Mochiso de Luanda, needing to assert their dominance, and they began brightly as the first quarter ended 18-14. Nigeria's next group outing will be against the defending champions and three-time AfroBasket winners Tunisia on Friday, August 15. And that is our news at 10. Just before we go, do not drive without a valid driver's license. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a forum for women across the 57 local government and local council development areas in the state with a view to enhancing their productivity and economic growth? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has called for strict adherence to all building codes and regulations to curb collapsed building incidents across the country. President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja today for a two-nation trip to Japan and Brazil. We also told you that more than 100 organizations have signed a joint letter calling on Israel to stop the weaponization of aid into Gaza as starvation deepens. And in sport, Nigeria's senior men's team, D Tigers, began their quest to claim a second continental title with a comprehensive win as they defeated Madagascar 77-59 in their opening Group B fixture at the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket Championship in Angola on Wednesday. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbolagun. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.